Hi everybody, welcome back. This is Locswithkayla. I am Kayla. For this week's video, I'm going to be getting into the pros and cons of palm rolling versus interlocking. So as someone who is traditionally locked, I've been locked for 16 going on 17 years now. I started my locks out with palm rolling and eventually transitioned into interlocking. So I can tell you as a consultant and as a consumer, which I think is better or worse, and more so than that, I can let you know as a consumer and a consultant what the pros and cons are, and you can decide from there which one that you want to go with. So I'm going to start out with interlock. The pros of interlocking would be that the results are long lasting. The hair is healthy because you can clean your scalp freely. You can wash as often as you like. You can use as little or as much oil in your hair as you prefer. It requires very little maintenance. You only have to go for a retightening every 3 to 6 months. It is product free. So if you're someone with a budget or someone who is looking to be as natural as possible, there's no product that goes into interlocking. You just need the tool. Your locks lock instantly. So once you put the pattern in your hair, especially if you've been locked for a while, the locks are stable. So it is a pattern that is put in your hair to hold it together as to just twisting it. So I'm going to move on to the pros of palm rolling. Pro number one is that the hair is very sheeny because you use grease, you're using oil, so you already get this look that appears just sheeny instead of the natural sheen of your hair. You get a cleaner look because you're once again greasing the edges down, so it's something that is holding your hair into place. The stylability of the locks when you palm roll, you can get your locks put into a style instantly after your retightening. Most of the times people do it cohesively with the retightening, and you need little to no knowledge on how to palm roll or any experience before you can just jump into it. It's a really simple method. As to interlocking, there's a lot more things that you can do that would cause improper locking long term. Here are some things that you will see with both interlocking and palm rolling. Number one, if done wrong, either technique can be painful. So it really depends on the technician or the consultant that's doing your locks on if it is a painful or painless experience. Also, both of these methods take very little time. So it also depends on the consultant how fast they do it. But interlocking versus palm rolling, doing my own hair, took the same amount of. So I'm going to get into the cons of interlocking. The first con would be that you cannot style your locks right away. You could do that, it depends on the person, but with me, I'm pretty tender-headed, so once my locks are tightened, I don't touch them for about a week before I attempt to do any style. So like my hair right now, I retightened my locks about a week ago, so now I'm in the process of where I can do pretty much anything that I wanted to do. And by styles, I'm talking about like tight updos. You can do something simple like a twist or like braids, those are fine, but those intricate styles that we see more from palm rolling, you can't really do those right away with interlocking, or you're most likely going to suffer a headache. They are not as clean looking once you get them done, and this is in the eye of the beholder, because I feel that my locks look very clean when I interlock them, and it also depends on the consultant, but your locks are not greased to your scalp. So when you interlock, you pull the hair into the root, and whatever hair that doesn't make it, it doesn't make it. When you have your hair palm rolled, you pull all of that hair and you grease it down, so you don't get that same sleek look as you do with palm rolling. But there's a con with that also, so stay tuned. And that's all I got for cons when it comes to interlocking. So subscribers, if you guys or just anyone watching, If you guys have any cons that you've experienced when it comes to interlocking that I didn't mention, please comment those below. The fans want to hear it. I want to hear it. Give us some insight into what you think the cons of interlocking are. So I'm going to keep the ball rolling and move into palm rolling. The cons for palm rolling: they cause buildup over time. So when you're putting petroleum jelly and greases all in your hair all the time, you're definitely going to start to see white spots in your locks. Those white spots are lint and debris and dirt that has been trapped into your lock, because whatever is holding your lock together needs more than just hair and grease. You need something to keep it formed and keep it locked. Unfortunately, a lot of the time, the stuff that is going to help hold your locks together is also going to create an unsightly look. So just keep in mind, whenever you're putting excess oil in your hair, no matter what, if you're palm rolling, if you're interlocking, you're gonna see buildup. So be careful about what oils you're using in your hair. Number 2, you can't get your locks wet when you first get them done. You can't go to the beach, you can't go to the gym, you can't do anything that's going to cause excessive moisture, because it's going to make your hair come loose quicker, which totally is a waste of that investment of going to get them redone in the first place. You also need to maintain your hair monthly. When I was palm rolling, I would twist my hair every 3 weeks consistently. My hair was on point, but it took a lot more work long term. So just also keep that in mind. To stay clean and stay fresh, you're gonna have to get your hair done more than if you were interlocking. Number 4, there is a longer locking time than with interlocking. So if you interlock your locks, like I said, they're instantly locked. When you palm roll, the process is up for debate. Like, there is no set time for your locks to lock, because it really just depends on a lot of different things. As to with interlocking, it depends on the cuticle that you have, that's the silkiness of your hair, and how good you're bundling your locks when you wash them, so that they're not slipping out too much or not getting too frizzy. But even with them getting frizzy, they would still stay together more so than just oil holding your locks together. So keep that in mind. The only thing that's keeping your locks together is oil. There's people that have had their locks 2-3 years and still have this much new growth of loose hair because that hair hasn't locked. Trust me, I know. It definitely looks frizzy faster. It definitely is a different type of journey when you're palm rolling. That's pretty much all I can say about that one. And number 5, your locks can start to smell, because you're not washing as good as you would be if you didn't have all that oil in your hair. It's almost impossible, or it was for me. All of these things that I'm saying, they might be different for you, and if they are, please, subscribers, comment below your tips and tricks on how you can defeat these cons of palm rolling. But for me, I could never wash my hair as good as I wanted to, because I was always feeling like I was washing my locks out. So in that oil and those greases and sweat and dirt and water, it all started to become a mildewy type of smell, and I was never happy about that. Also, if you're not sitting under the dryer after you wash or after you get your hair retightened, that can also cause a mildewy smell. So I guess I can add to a con that you do need to dry your locks after you retighten them. You have to sit under the dryer, or you have to at least put them inside some type of braids or bantu knots to keep them from slipping out, from not ever drying, and just keep them under control. So that's all I got for this week. Those are the pros and cons of interlocking versus palm rolling. Please, once again, comment below if you have anything to add on to this video. Also, hit that subscribe button, click like on this video if you like what I had to say. So thank you so much for tuning in this week. Once again, I love and appreciate each and every one of you, and I can't wait to see you next week.